Hello everyone and welcome. This is Chloe with Cousin DIY. Today I'm going to show you how to make this wall mirror. I'm going to set up and I'll be right back to get started. For starters, we need to cut a 14-inch circle out of a piece of cardboard. I happen to have this 14-inch ring, which we do sell on our website. So I taped it onto this piece of cardboard a little larger than 14 inches square. And I'm going to take this X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut around the circle. And to protect my work surface, I'm going to put a piece of cardboard underneath and I'll move that around as I go. So for starters, I'm going to press down in and keep pressing down. I want to make sure that this ring isn't going to move. There. Next, I'm going to remove the tape and the ring. Next, I'm going to grab my 12-inch mirror. And I'm going to place it in the middle of my cardboard, and so I want to make sure I have it in the middle. I want to go all the way around with a ruler, and just to make sure that I have an inch. I want to make sure I have it centered accurately in the middle of this piece of cardboard. So I should have, I'm going to do that one more time, about an inch. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we want it really close. Because with the cord that we're going to glue on, it measures almost exactly an inch in width. So now that I have that, I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to trace around the mirror. So when I glue it on, I make sure I have it right in the middle where I want it. Okay. So the next step is to take your hot glue gun, which I have here, and you always want to make sure you have extra glue sticks handy. And I found the best way to glue the mirror was to actually put the hot glue right on the cardboard. So you want to go around. I want to do this rather quickly. I can see I'm going to run out, so put my glue stick. Okay, hopefully that's enough. Let's give it a try. I'm going to use the guides that I made to position this. Press it down. Make sure it's stuck on, and it did. Okay. The next step is to start gluing our cords and our rope around the edge. And I will start with, I think I'll start with this 4-ply jute cord. Now, those of you who've worked with jute before know that it can be a little imperfect. There might be some twigs. I'm going to cut a fresh end here. So I'm just going to, like this, you can see what I'm talking about. A little bit of an imperfection. So we're going to cut that off before we start gluing. And I'm going to, here's another one. Make sure I unwrap at least enough to go around one time. And I won't cut where they meet until we get to the end. So actually, I think I'm going to reverse it and go this way. So I'm just going to start laying a line of glue around the edge. And press this jute so that it meets the mirror. And I'm just going to keep working my way around the outside of the mirror until I have this entirely glued around. Okay, now that we've glued that all the way around, I'm going to do my best to cut the end of jute of this cord so it lines up with the beginning. Need to take off just a little bit more. Now, let me try the bigger scissors. Maybe these will work better. Sharp scissors really help, by the way. Just going to try to trim a tad bit more. I'm having a hard time getting the right angle. This is very thick cord. There, I think that will work. I'm just going to put some glue in the end of the cord and on the cardboard and press that together. Don't worry if your mirror gets covered with jute and little threads of glue, because we're going to clean that off later. Okay. And the next step is to do the same thing with the length of this white cotton cord. And I am going to start each cord right at the same spot where I joined the previous cord. So this, I'm going to trim the end. And they're joined together right here. And once again, I'm going to work my way all the way around, gluing little bit as I go. Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to do the same, trim the end, match it up the best we can, and glue it. Next, we're going to do the same with this flat braided jute cord. And it might be helpful. I'm going to put a little piece of tape Okay, let me cut a fresh end here. And then I'm just going to put a little tape around that to hold it together so it won't fray. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to glue it all the way around. Okay, now that we're at the end, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to trim it, put a little piece of tape on it. Okay, that tape will help us. Just ever so slightly more. There we go. Glue. And glue. Once that's glued down, we can cut that tape off if we need to. Next, we're going to turn the mirror upside down, and we're going to go, I want to look around the edges here for any place that, like this right here, where the cardboard extends out a little bit further than this flat cord. And then we're going to carefully trim that area off without cutting the cord. We want this cardboard to be flush as possible. Let's see, I've got a little section there. Keep going. I see I've got a little section here. So you're just going to go around and check and trim wherever you need to. The next step is to clean our mirror off a little bit. So I'm going to take some glass cleaner and paper towel because we're going to be gluing beads around the edge of our mirror. So I want to make sure that the mirror is pretty clean. And again, I'm going to start right near the area where all the cords and rope begin and end. Now I separated out all these little cream colored wooden beads from the bead mix, and this is what we'll be using. And you see that each bead, has a hole through it, and we don't want the hole to show. So we're going to be gluing the beads sideways like that, so the holes will be facing each other and they won't show. I noticed that a lot of the beads have like a flat side. They're a little bit irregular, and that actually is a good thing because I choose that side to glue down whenever there is one to the mirror. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. There's a flat side on this one, so I am going to glue it right there. Quickly grab another one, glue it right there. And again, I'm going to work my way all the way around the mirror until I have beads glued all the way around. Okay, now that we have our beads all glued on, I'll remove some of our glue stick string here. We're going to glue another row of the 4-ply jute on the other side of these beads. So I'm going to go through and do the same thing I did the first time and find any imperfections and trim them off. Start in about the same place. I'm going to put a little touch of glue right there on the end. And we're going to glue all the way around. Okay, now that we have that done, well, let me double check here. We have one more cord that we're going to add around the outside edge, and that would be this cream cotton rope. Now, let me see, the best way, again, I'm going to start down here. So this will show just beyond the edge of the braided cord. So I'm going to carefully glue a strip okay. Okay, I'm going to go little bit by little bit here. And this cream rope is just going to frame the outside edge of our mirror. And I find if you can put the little bead of glue slightly under the edge of the braided jute cord, it works best. So I'm just going to continue this and go all the way around. And the last one of the last steps is to make these little reverse coils that will anchor off in 4 places around the edge, and as you can see, it will cover up. Another purpose it serves is to cover up our seam where our cords came together. So I've already gone ahead and made 3 of them, but I'll show you how I make these. For starters, you're going to cut for each one a 10-inch length of this white cotton cord. Whoops. And I found that it really helped to put a little touch of hot glue on each end, and again, let it cool for about 10 seconds or so, and then play with it so that you're securing all the fibers in that end together. So it won't fray. I know hot glue is kind of messy when it dries on your skin. You just want to be really careful that you don't burn yourself. There, that looks pretty good. And the next step is we're going to coil one end this direction and the other end in the opposite direction until they meet in the middle. So I'm going to apply a thin line of hot glue. And just start coiling each side. So I've started that side, and this side is going to get coiled in the opposite direction. Once you get these coils started, it gets a lot easier. And we're just going to keep doing this until they meet in the middle. There we go. So the first spot that I'm going to glue one of these coils on is the spot where we connected the ends of our cords, because we want to cover that up. And I don't think I need to trim off the tape, because I think that's going to get covered up. So right about there. So I'm going to put a big glob of hot glue on the back of each side of the coil. And press it on. And then next step is to go directly across, because I've got my other 3 pre-made. Want to go directly across the mirror the best we can. And so once again, I'm just going to go right across the mirror. That looks pretty good. I want to choose the best side to glue. And glue that there. And then we're going to do the same thing on these 2 sides. Now I'm going to clean the mirror one more time. Oh, if you want to hang your mirror, you could hot glue a length of cord on the back, so the loop would be able to hang on a nail or a picture hook or something like that. But we're just going to lean ours. Clean off all the little strands of hot glue threads that got left behind. Ta-da! If you make your own corded mirror, we'd love to see it. You can share them with us on Instagram at #CreateWithCousin. Till next time, take care. Bye.